Oh, it just starts. It doesn't even give you a 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
It just fucking starts.
Okay.
So let's get this party started. Nerd Farmcast episode 44. After a preparation of 45 minutes, finally got fucking Google Hangouts to work in the first time.
Can't do anything on time.
Hey, that's not my fault. That's fucking Google Hangouts. I was ready. I actually started ahead of time to get things started. The problem is Google Hangouts, man. I blame Google Hangouts.
So you're not getting a sponsorship from them, so you know, not like
There we
anytime
go.
soon. Hey, we're live.
I've already said it. We are live, and I've already said it. But now that everyone can actually watch it or listen at the same time, we are handsome men. And Nick, I think, is like searching Twitter or doing something.
I'm always on my phone.
But I will. I guess it doesn't matter because I'm gonna be looking to the left and the right because I got my other computer right here. But I can show people this. Nick, I don't know when we took this picture, but Nick, have you met Kevin before?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we
Florida.
didn't we podcast before?
No,
Once?
I don't know if we've ever done a 3-person podcast.
we have not.
A three-way.
Not with us 3.
Nope.
But if Google Hangouts allows it, a little backstory, Kevin, for me and Nick. Nick, we've been friends since 7th grade.
Yep.
So 7th or 8th. We gamed a lot. That's how we gathered our friendship. Nick would always tell me about like Warcraft and stuff that I, to this day, still can't play. But I do have this picture. Look at this. Look at this, Nick. Remember this picture?
Well, you stopped talking, so...
Oh, okay. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, look at that thing. Yeah, that's from, like, I don't know.
I actually still have one from, what was it? The last year we were at Cedar Crest.
Which one is it?
The one where we're doing, like, the Ric Flair woos and
Oh, yeah, man.
horns. I don't know where that's at, though.
The Wolf
Yep.
Pack. All right. Those are
We were
good days.
special children.
Good days. Kevin, you remember those days.
Wolfpack days?
Yeah.
Sort of? Kind
Oh,
of?
all right. Well,
Don't we have an age gap, Burke?
that
slight
was
one.
that was the ongoing joke that I don't know if you remember the Wolfpack, where me and Nick, we're like Hulk Hogan. You would be at the age for the Wolfpack to I don't know, that to be like your big thing if you're ever into WWE or WWF.
You glorified homoerotic displays of athleticism in the mid-90s.
But now that I can actually see everyone, and we can get past the fact that we're all quite handsome. The other thing is, I don't know how many times we'll do like a 3-person hangout, but the story is why we're using Hangout because I can typically record Skype 1v1. I spilled coffee on my Acer, so I had to get a new Acer, in which I got a Chromebook because it's cheap, and I bought it to just surf the internet. Is essentially what I got it for. So.
That's all it's good for.
That's really all it's good for.
Really
That's all I
can't do
needed it
anything
for.
on it. Yeah.
But I wanted to get us 3 together because
Chromebook. It's Chroming.
we are all into a bunch of different games that, one, I don't have, and I need you guys to kind of talk me into it. And also playing Fallout 4, but I think those games are like CODBlOps 3, so Kevin, you have to kind of talk me into getting that one. Nick's already kind of talked me into Star Wars, but he can tell me how Star Wars is going on. I got Fallout 4, and then had we been able to podcast Saturday, that was like the 25th anniversary of Super Nintendo, so I wanted to talk about some Super Nintendo goodness.
Yeah, he also spent 4 hours trying to figure out Google Hangouts on Saturday.
Still. And we were barely successful today. Like, I was close to giving up. Like, that was 45 minutes of preparation, but I think I finally have it down. So here's the key.
As opposed to the 45 minutes of time he normally wastes before any project.
And here's the thing. Google Hangouts. You cannot send the invites out. You have to do it via email, and you can't do it before it says it's not ready, even though it gives you that option. It's a trick. It's a trap. Don't use it. Nothing really happens.
Burke, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What's that contusion on your chest?
This is my Dazzler tattoo.
It does look like a bruise, doesn't it?
It really does. It looks like you got hit square in the sternum.
In this light, where her hand's at, it looks like red inflammation around a white boil.
I forgot I could do this. Watch this. Present to everyone. So now all they can see is me, even when you guys are talking. That's my Dazzler. See?
There you go.
No.
Well, to keep people from having a
beautiful.
seizure, you should just leave it in this mode because people can still see us at the bottom.
They can still see you guys too?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, what
They
if I want
should
to look
be
at
able
Kevin the whole time? See, I want like.
I feel like we're changing between like really shitty vines, and it might cause some sort of seizure.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll keep it on me then. And if anybody's talking for an extended period of time, I'm going to present to that person, and just like that, I'm actually going to be like the ground controller or whatever the fuck the person is that controls videos, you know, for like news or something.
Ground controller. I think that was right. Ah, getting drunk in Pepsi.
Pepsi they can pay me now. All right. Who wants to? Should I talk about Fallout 4 first? Somebody tried to tell me on CODBlOps or
Talk
Star
about
Wars.
whatever you want. It's the bird
All right.
show.
Lay into it, man.
Nick, I'm very close to getting Battlefront. The only reason I didn't buy it today is because I work tomorrow and Thursday. So I'll be on Friday, but then I work overtime on
if
Saturday.
only technology would catch up with our needs and we'd have a way to purchase things digitally.
I'm a nerd and a collector, and I like holding things in my hand.
I like convenience because I like games and playing them.
You also have like a terabyte, and I'm not going to pay for a
4.
terabyte on my Xbox One. So
4 terabytes.
yeah, 4 terabytes.
Whew.
I'm not doing that. But Nick, how is Star Wars going?
I like it. I recognize the flaws of the game. So, I mean, I appreciate what's there, although I'm disappointed with what's not there. I find modes like Fighter Squadron to be very reminiscent of, say, Crimson Skies, for example, which was a game on the original Xbox, one of the first Xbox Live experiences. And I find that the Walker Assault and Supremacy modes are extremely fun and satisfying as long as people are playing to the objective. Other than that, the game doesn't have a whole lot of depth. There's no single-player mode. There's like training missions and some co-op or online versus one of your friends, but there's no 4-player co-op, which seems very weird that they would put out a survival mode without 4-player co-op.
Yeah, that is weird. Now that I think about it, I didn't think about that. You were
And
telling
now
me
that you've shifted to me, I'll just stop talking.
what's the level cap right now? Because you said is it 50?
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that's really disappointing about the game is the level cap is 50, and the only customization options that you have prior to 50 are changing your faces, and the faces are duplicated all the way up to, and I'm saying up to level 30 between Imperials and I keep looking down because my dog's over here bugging me, between Imperial and Rebels. The faces are exactly the same. Once you hit account level 30, then you can unlock aliens for the Rebels, but you only get like 1 or 2 of them. It's like Celestin and some other gray-headed idiot.
What is it? Is it the Twi'leks that have the?
That's level 50. Twi'leks are level 50. There's a couple of, there's Zabrak and a couple other ones, like a fishy guy, whatever. I'm not huge on the Star Wars race names. I only know the real popular ones. And
like,
on the Imperial side, it's like, why would you want to play as Jonathan Hurt, which is how human number 12 looks, or why would you want to play as Granny Blaster, human number 5? It's super generic and super stupid looking.
In the defense, everyone wants to play as Granny Blaster. Everyone does.
Which is the name that I've given her.
Yeah, and I wanted to play it. And you said there's an easy way to level up, because I thought about
Fighter Squadron.
I want to play as the
good at Fighter Squadron, you can earn roughly between 10 and 15,000 XP a match. And if you're fast, you'll always get that because you're able to get the Millennium Falcon or Slave One.
And I don't care for much space combat. Like, would I be able to jump in and be like okay?
It's not really space combat. It's loosely objective-based combat.
Okay.
You're going to be flying at planet level. It's 10-on-10 skirmishes with AI ships as well. There's one hero ship per team, and it spawns rather randomly, but you have to actually go pick it up and not get blown up until you spawn with it. You're able to place the Millennium Falcon or Slave 1. It's pretty easy to pick up. It's very arcadey, and it doesn't require a whole lot of base skill. But you do need to know a little bit of how the mechanics work for the game mode, such as your engine power is directly tied to your blaster power. So increasing your engine power decreases your blaster power, and decreasing your engine power conversely increases your blaster power, which is how they went and set it up. So, which is based on, I guess, historical lore in the Star Wars universe, but that wouldn't be my choice.
Yeah, where your shields go, whether you power shields, you have so much power to go front.
And it's not even tied to your shields. It's tied directly to your engines, because your shields are a whole other power-up, and only the Rebels have shields, which is why the Rebels are easy mode in that. The Millennium Falcon's a tank. It's got massive guns. It's got a shield. It's got a fuck ton of HP. The A-Wing has a shield, the X-Wing has a shield, the A-Wing has the smallest hitbox out of all the ships, and is virtually invincible if you know how to fly it. So.
Yeah, then why then where's the why be the Empire then?
Well, you don't have a choice. Number one. Number two, not everybody is that good.
Okay.
And number three, once you learn how to fly, and I have, I'd say, 15 years of Xbox console arcade shooter flight experience. Not that that counts for anything, but the game's super easy for me, and I'm consistently putting up between 8,000 and 15,000 XP a match.
How do the heroes work in multiplayer? How do the heroes come out?
Overpowered compared to the normal soldiers, and then compared to each other, you can kind of determine which ones are the shit tier and which ones are the good ones. Boba Fett is on top out of all the current 6 heroes because he has a jetpack, which well, you're able to control it, number one, and you can use it for a long time as opposed to the normal jetpack, which is just a jump pack.
Who sings the Boba Fett song?
That's MC Chris.
Yeah, and it's my pack's got
Backpack's got jets.
My pack's got jets. Backpack's got jets. All right.
Yeah.
What decides when those heroes spawn?
Well, it depends. If you're in one of the normal modes, you're going to be trying to get the hero power up wherever it randomly spawns.
Oh, it's a hero power. Okay.
There's usually one scumbag per team that is able to spend most of his time not playing the game and hunting that power up.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So you've got Boba Fett on top of all of the heroes. He has the jetpack, number one. But you can't aim with him, which is the unfortunate thing. Which I guess is kind of his balance. But he's got a jetpack. He's got a flamethrower for close combat. He's got a EE3 blaster rifle, which is his custom rifle. It fires burst fire. It's pretty strong. 2 burst rounds to the body usually is enough to kill a rando soldier. And then he's got seeking rockets on the right hand.
Seeking rockets?
Yeah, and all heroes have increased HP and armor, whatever.
Yeah.
Behind him would probably be Luke Skywalker, who's an entire kit of bullshit. He's got a force run, he's got force push, and then he's got like a charge attack. So he can like jump really far. And anyone who grabs Luke is going to be sprinting anyways. Both Jedis can reflect shots. Force push is like a massive conical wave that kills any normal troopers that are in the blast radius, which is huge.
Did you play Force Unleashed?
No.
Okay. Kevin, did you play Force Unleashed?
Yes.
Okay, well I guess, Kevin, have you played Star Wars?
Just Star Wars and
The Battlefront.
the Battlefront. Ah, yeah. No, I haven't played it. I've watched some footage of it.
Like, it wouldn't be that bad if this game was all about unbalanced things like Jedis and Sith Lords and stuff, but it's just kind of ridiculous that you could play as the hero for the entirety of the game if no one's able to kill you. There should be a health decay, and there's not.
Or a time. A time.
Yeah, or a timer. And there's a timer on the AT-AT power-up. You've got like 90 seconds in it, and you can increase your time in it minimally, provided you're getting kills. But if you spawn in it at the wrong time, you're not going to get any kills, and you basically wasted all of your time.
I think the heroes should be timed too. You know, you get 90 seconds to just wreck face.
And there should be a limit on the amount of heroes that can spawn on any given map, because it's like, it doesn't make sense. The beginning of the map, they're like, the Emperor has joined our battle. Then 2 minutes later, the Emperor's been defeated. Guess who's back, bitches?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, once he's dead, he's dead. Like, that's it. You get the hero. I probably will be picking it up soon in physical form. The one that I have questions on is Kevin. You talked me into Advanced Warfare. Are you gonna be able to talk me into CODBlOps 3 here?
I don't know. But I wish I talked you into CODBlOps 3, as you say, before I talked you into Advanced Warfare, because it is more refined than that game is. Like, Advanced Warfare feels sluggish in comparison.
Really? Who made CODBlOps 3?
Treyarch.
Okay.
Treyarch.
Yeah.
Can you just call it Black Ops? Because CODBlOps sounds fucking stupid.
Black Ops.
Bloops. It's fine.
CODBlOps.
Yeah.
It's been CODBlOps since day one.
Okay, so I remember talking to you about it. I was very impressed by the beta that I got to play, and the main reason that it was so enjoyable is because of the specialist classes. I think we talked a little bit about it, but
no, I don't. I honestly don't know anything about it, especially like.
You don't know anything about it.
I don't know how classes. I don't know if there's usually loadouts. So now there's classes now.
Okay. Well, so Bloop Coops 2, as it is called,
Three.
No, two is in the near future. This one's like the far future.
Okay.
It's dealing with some like Deus Ex kind of bullshit.
Can we just go back to Vietnam, like the first one?
That's what I want.
Original and actually entertaining.
That's what drew me away. Is like I saw some guy had like nano fingers. It was like space bees, and I didn't want space bees.
Space bees are actually pretty fun, and in fact, I wish I had space bees in Vietnam. But no, the specialist classes kind of make the difference. But it is kind of a riff on Destiny here and there, because they have it is. They
is a riff on itself. That game's terrible.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll tell you. After Kevin's done talking, did I tell you about some guy who wanted to fist fight me at PAX South over Destiny?
Hey guys, do you want a shitty Halo that comes with no game and you have to pay a fuck ton extra to get all the stuff we promised you?
So I don't know, Kevin. Did I tell you about the story?
A lot of people said yes.
I did.
I think you did.
All right, I'll retell the story for the people at home. Anyways, Kevin, continue to sell me on Bloop's COD 3.
I don't know if I'm going to sell you on it. No, okay, so the biggest change is specialist classes. You could basically, there's character classes now for the first time. Team Fortress-y, basically.
Which is what Star Wars should have.
Yeah. But they don't really play into each other. Like, you can't really play off of your teammates' powers. You're still one-man army kind of bullshit. They're just, what are you doing? I'm gonna look at your.
I feel like.
Oh, neat.
I feel like if you watch ESPN, that stupid fucking show, Pardon the Interruption, where the guy's like bloop 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 bloop, and he gives everyone stupid fucking points. That's what I feel like right now.
Well, I'm just gonna do this to entertain myself because I don't really want to stare at myself do nothing while you're talking.
You can stare at Kevin. I am controlling the cameras.
Or stare at Burke's chest abuse that's going on there. It still looks pretty bad, man. You need to get that checked out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Anywho, Burke.
Yes, I'm listening.
Since we're broadcasting live, is there a way to interact with anyone who might choose to watch this train wreck?
Yes,
Twitch style?
There is a chat. Let me see here. Chat.
Because I feel like if somebody
Graveyard.
chose to watch this circus that we've got going on, we should
apparently we have one viewer. So somebody did find their way to watching it. They have not begun to chat, but they are watching it.
We apologize profusely.
I can only hope that someone's like watching it and touching themselves.
It's
That would
really
actually
just
make it better.
Burke's other computer looking at it.
Yeah.
You are the one viewer, Burke. Anyway, what is there to say? Well,
So
it's
you talk about
faster than it's ever
specialized
been.
classes,
Yeah,
not so
yeah,
much loadouts. More of like Destiny.
More like Destiny, and you do get like this kind of they all have these special abilities that you can unlock through kills or just playing the game. I forget it. I think there's a timer on them essentially. So
It's like most of the time it's been score streaks.
yeah, it
because
used to be score streaks.
It's not
Score
anymore?
streak is still there. No, it's two
Oh.
separate things. So you actually have character abilities. So you can bust out what, like, say for instance, you play as a cyborg character because we've gotten the cyborgs in Call of Duty. We've
Oh
gone
Jesus!
way away from World War II. There's no cyborgs in World War II, as far as I'm aware. And you actually
Just
get like
Bob Dole.
you get like a Gatling
the Nazis
gun.
would say otherwise.
It's true.
They were working
you-
on some cyborgs.
Yeah, but like just like Destiny, when you get these kind of special abilities, they have a cooldown to them, and then they have like you can only use them for maybe like 25 seconds. But in that 25 seconds, you are a god. So kind of like what you were hoping for in Battlefront, Call of Duty did, except it's not cool because you're not, Luke Skywalker running around, but you're still running across walls and doing crazy shit. Other than that, the campaign is stupid and boring.
And my thing is, like, why can't
Yeah.
they leave that stuff to the games where they did it well, like Titanfall? Just leave all the fantasy crap to the games that actually know how to do it, instead of trying to cop all the stuff that a bunch of executives think is going to sell the game. Stop letting your marketers decide how the game is done.
Here's the thing. The executives aren't thinking what's going to sell. It's going to sell. Like, it doesn't matter what they think
Yeah.
because it's going to fucking sell. Like, whatever numbers CODBlOps 3 sold, it's a fuck ton.
Yeah, it still kind of took the season, I think.
So it's like not
doesn't
what
matter.
they think's going to sell. They know it's going to sell. People are going to buy the next Call of Duty. And that's what I'm talking about.
Well, it's like the same idiots that buy Madden every year.
They buy meth every year?
Madden.
Madden.
I heard
Oh.
men.
I heard
buying
meth.
The same guys that are buying men all the time. Ruin it for all the rest of us girls.
Well,
And Kevin went like psychedelic on his camera now. Can everyone else see
this
that?
is what happens when you
Huh?
play with your phones, kids.
let me look at my camera.
Yeah. It's all
Seems fine to me.
psychedelic.
Why is it
I don't mind
psychedelic?
it.
What do you mean psychedelic? Like, what are you seeing? I'm not seeing anything. I feel fine. Nick, I like your Christmas tree back there.
Thank you.
Let's
It's
take a little moment to. It's little.
Look at the Christmas tree here.
Look at that
Can I
thing.
get that?
I
Here
won't
we go.
tolerate
Bam.
much Christmas in my house, so
It has to be a little
Okay.
Christmas. Ah,
I would prefer the Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
no.
what do you
Um,
prefer?
So is it way faster paced than Advanced Warfare then?
Yeah, a little bit. You don't get that that little side-to-side dart this time, but you can still kind of leap across. And wall running is a big deal. And the wall running is actually done pretty well, where you can actually. It takes some practice, but you can pull off some trick shots. But does it play exactly like Titanfall? Yes, it plays exactly like Titanfall when it comes to that. It's like somebody
But
saw
there's
that
no
when they're
Titans.
making it and was just like no Titans, none. They're so little, but the specialty classes are actually fun. They bring a little extra oomph to it, and Treyarch has always delivered probably the better Call of Duties nowadays. Which the more
the better-
imaginative Call of Duties, just
the better multiplayer. Treyarch's always been better
Yeah.
with multiplayer.
oh yeah, I said the campaign's trash. It doesn't make sense. The story you don't care about,
Who buys
and
Call of Duty games for the single player experience? That's not-
Apparently Ryan does, Nick, and I can talk about Ryan because I know he's not going to watch the goddamn podcast or listen to it.
Yeah, but he's also in a CrossFit cult, so really.
Exactly. He is the complete opposite of you, right? Where he's like, I'm like, why did you get CODBlOps 3? And he's like, oh, I want to play the campaign. And I'm like, well, why don't you just get Star Wars? He's like, there's no campaign. I was like, exactly. And he's like, I just want the single player. And I'm like, yeah, you and Nick are complete opposite. Like, you just want the multiplayer. Get rid of the stupid fucking boring campaign.
Like, I'll play a game if it has single player attached to it, but I'm not going to buy something just for a single player experience because then I have no one to share the game experience with.
so
Well-
wait, you don't like games like BioShock and whatnot?
I like what I think it was number 2.
You like Bioshock 2 more than Bioshock
Weird.
1?
I forget. It's been what, like
So
7
Bioshock
years?
1 is the first one where he starts at the lighthouse.
It was Bioshock 1 then.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because Bioshock 1 by far is the best, followed by 3, which is Infinite,
Like,
and then 2
I
is the
guess
worst.
I liked 1. 2 just felt like hokey and like it was somebody had farted into the husk of Bioshock 1.
Yeah, they trying too hard.
And I didn't really get into it at all. And I like murdering children,
Yes.
so I enjoyed it.
Fair enough.
As for Kevin on the, I wasn't planning on playing the single player. Any new game modes or game modes that are better than others in the new Call of Duty?
The Mountain Dew Dorito extravaganza.
Yes, that's why I love it.
I would say no.
Okay.
I don't remember there being any new game modes that haven't been in previous Black Ops games. They did reintroduce zombies, although Advanced Warfare had zombies too.
Yeah.
But this one, biggest difference, Jeff Goldblum is a playable character.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes
Which
it
I know you're
way
way
worth
into.
it. What's that? He's great. He makes the whole game. That's the price of admission right there, Jeff Goldblum. But still, zombies mode, convoluted, and you basically have to either hear from a friend of a friend how to do something or just look up an entire strategy of game facts. I always hated that about zombies mode. Like, it's less about skill, more about just discovering random weird Easter eggy shit the entire time
Yeah,
while kind of avoiding zombies.
Was it original Black Ops where you could play as Richard Nixon? Because
Yes.
that's the best one.
Yes, that one was actually really good.
Because my version of Nixon is just the Nixon from Futurama, where he's like, Nixon's back!
I'm just a head in a bottle.
I'm meeting you halfway, hippies.
Well, that's the thing.
forgot
Is, like,
about that.
I stopped liking zombies after
The plethora of zombie movies that were unleashed on the entire world.
World at War is when zombies was introduced, and I played a ton of it. And because a lot of the guys like playing it at the fire station and stuff, and they were like, "Oh, Burke, you're a gamer. Come play this." And I was like, "I really don't enjoy this that much, but I will humor you gentlemen." And I have not played zombies since then because I don't find it that fun. I don't like horde modes. I don't.
See, and that's the thing with Star Wars. They put in horde modes, and it's like, why can't you play with 4 people?
Yeah. Well, how many people can you play with in horde mode?
2. You
Why?
and one other.
What?
Okay.
But this was a convenient ploy for me to get the girlfriend to pick up Star Wars, because she's not into like multiplayer games where, like first-person shooters at least, because
'cause-
she's not used to playing it on the Xbox, so she doesn't want to get shot up online. But she will kick people's ass at League of Legends. I'm like, well, it's just like League of Legends, except it's nothing like League of Legends.
It's like whatever, and like me and your girlfriend are complete opposites. Where I suck at Smite, but yet I can pick up a first-person shooter and just destroy people.
You suck at strategy. That's your issue.
Yes. Well, and also understanding certain moves, but that's neither here nor there. I said we weren't going to talk too much about Smite because that would like alienate Kevin out of here. But
Hey, if you have an
smidge.
If you have an Xbox One, you could download it and be terrible with Burke.
oh yes, well
He's been trying to
'cause
get me to for a long time.
I have, and just for that purpose,
Yeah.
because I'm so tired of playing Smite alone, because Nick will not join me.
You can take the
it's
camera
fine.
off me, because I'm just playing with my dog now, and it looks like I'm jerking off.
Yes, it looks good. No, whenever Nick is on, but now he's playing Star Wars a bunch, I need Nick to come on to Smite and yell at me as I'm playing, as I have ups and downs where I'm really good versus terrible players, but if I play against a good player, I'm the terrible one. Does that make sense?
Yes.
See, his up and
What-
down is like this. He's really good when I'm not in the game with him,
Yes.
and suddenly when I am in the game with him, he can't even hold the controller correctly.
No, and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. I can't hit people. It's bad. It's bad. But then when he's like, all right, well, I'm going to hop off, I'm like, you know what? I didn't play too well. I'm going to play one game, and that game I just fucking destroy people. Just destroy them. It's a problem that I have. Maybe I try too hard when you're on, Nick. Maybe that's the problem. I just try too hard.
Maybe you need to try hard because you're garbage.
No, you don't want. I don't want to try too hard. Then it looks like you're like trying really hard, but you still suck. So if you act like you're not giving 100%, it's okay, right?
I don't know what that's like because I can actually play the game.
Yeah, well, I think we should start playing a little bit more so that you can actually see the little bit of improvement. It's been like 2 weeks, I think, since we were on together.
Maybe.
Maybe
Or a
tonight.
week.
Maybe tonight.
Probably
Maybe?
not tonight. I got an interview tomorrow, so I'm not trying to stay up late.
Maybe? Maybe, Lip?
But maybe.
All right. Maybe. All right, but anyways, I can't. Is there a timer on here? How long we've been doing a podcast for? Of course, there's not a timer. But the main point is 25 years of the Super Nintendo. I hope you guys can talk about it because Kevin, you said it's like essentially your introductory system.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
I know.
We've been going for about 25 minutes.
Okay, so but this is a good time. Good time to segue into the Super Nintendo. Nick, you said you had one. I think when I met you,
I bought a
junior,
Famicom just recently.
but I'm talking as a kid. Also, you had a Super
Yes.
Nintendo. And whenever I would have sleepovers at Nick's, at that time you had a Dreamcast, and I would wake up in the morning and watch SpongeBob and then play.
We never watched SpongeBob at my house.
I watched SpongeBob.
Not at my house, you didn't.
I don't know. I don't believe you. Maybe that's Tyler's. Anyways,
You
whatever.
didn't know.
I would wake up early and play Tokyo Extreme Racer or whatever, and because Nick would sleep till like 1 in the afternoon, and I would just play hours of Tokyo Extreme Racer. So
I'm gonna blow your minds. Burke also never spent the night at my house when we were in high school. So
Not in
the
high
whole
school.
story's invalid.
Junior
And
high.
No, we only ever stayed over at your house because your
No,
house was
I know for a fact I woke up and played Tokyo Extreme Racer at your house.
not at my house.
Yes,
Nope.
it was. You have the terrible memory, sir.
Haha, not about that.
What's
but,
the truth?
It's out there.
The truth is, I will find something that proves
This
that I
summer
stayed
on
over there.
Fox.
No, I did. I stayed over there. I know for a fact I did. He's just fucking with me. Anyways, so I didn't own a Super Nintendo till later in life, and I bought a boxed Super Nintendo from whatever that
A
old
store.
thrift store is on Meridian, near like Meridian, like 128th. Nick, I can't. It was like St. Vincent or something.
I had a Super Nintendo when I was a child because I wasn't that poor.
No, St. Vincent de Paul. It's called St. Vincent de Paul, that thrift store. So I found a Super Nintendo in high school. But the reason I didn't have a Super Nintendo is because I had Sega Genesis.
I had
So-
one of those too.
Go ahead, Nick. Whoever wants to go first, you guys can battle to the death of rock, paper, scissors. Talk about some of your favorite games or like games that mean the most to you for Super Nintendo. I have a few when I would go over to somebody's house and play Super Nintendo, but that's... I'll get into that a little bit later.
Since it's also like the 30th anniversary of Mario, which makes me feel old since I'm only 33, and this mascot is almost as old as me now. I'd say Super Mario 3, which was not on the Super Nintendo, was probably my favorite, most nostalgic game of all time. But as far as the Super Nintendo is concerned, you're looking at games like Super Mario World. It was one of the first games where they put in the percentage counter, so you knew how much you were completing. There's also super hard games where you actually had to go get that tribal knowledge to beat, like Tim Burton's Batman Returns on the Super Nintendo, which was awesome compared to the regular Nintendo, which had the garbage Batman game on it.
No, the
which
first
probably
Batman was
caused
good. The
some
first Batman
suicides.
on Nintendo was good.
Yeah,
like-
you know nothing, you have no taste.
Great colors, great music, different battering and stuff. Dude, it was awesome.
It had like 3 colors on the palette. That's not good colors.
Yeah, purple, gray, and blues. They were fantastic.
And then you're looking at other stuff like Earthworm Jim, which was not exclusive, but that was one of the games that I had. The original Donkey Kong Country,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
one of those really classic console platformer games that I don't think anybody who owned a Super Nintendo at the time didn't own that game as well.
And that's the one thing is a lot of my stories deal with going over to Tim Mahoney's house and sleeping over at his place too, because I slept over at his place. I was a whore, right? Slept over at his place,
Getting
our
butt
place.
fucked everywhere.
Anyways, woke up and we'd play Donkey Kong Country. That's what I remember vividly at Tim's house, playing shit ton of Donkey Kong.
Or
and
digging up the dead shark in his yard.
or going out into the forest and finding a dead animal and calling the cops because it was just bones and we thought it was some human remains. And shit ton of that, and for some reason, a lot of Star Wars, like Super Star Wars, but for some reason we played a shit ton of Caesar's
Super
Palace.
Star Wars was really good.
Oh, Super Star Wars is a fantastic game, but I don't know why we played so much Caesar's Palace. Like, we played craps, and I didn't understand.
Like an old lady?
It was weird, that's what I'm saying.
Who wants to play Super Canasta?
I don't know why we played so much of it, but we played a shit ton of Caesar's Palace. Maybe like walking around the casino, I don't know.
Well, at least you're prepping for later in life. Super Star Wars, I did forget about that, but that was one of those fun games that I'd played along with, I believe it was Top Gun. I want to say that was on the Super Nintendo. But with games like that, I had like a standing rule with my dad that I could play the game until I died, and then I had to go to bed. So that was where my competitive nature started in video games. Because like I'm not fucking going to sleep, so I have to be good. And if you do die, hide it. Conveniently cause a distraction away from the TV so no one knows that you died.
Fair enough.
Any other things you can think of?
Another one that I really like that I rented quite often, back when video game rentals were a thing and
Yeah.
Blockbuster was a thing as well.
Like, I just thought about it too. I was like, oh man, I remember that too. Going to the, it was like
Well, I didn't even rent games at Blockbuster when I had the Super Nintendo. We went to a place called like Long's Drugstore. It was a drugstore down in California, and kind of like Walgreens before Walgreens was a thing even. And I would always rent Kirby's Dream Course.
Ah, yeah.
And I've never been a sports guy, even a casual sports guy, but when you make something about a sport, but make it with video game characters, then I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'll play it. I mean, golf with Kirby is fun. You eat, you hit shit, you are the ball, there's no boring Tiger Woods shit.
And that was the other one, Kirby's Superstars? Is it Kirby Superstars?
I think that's actually a Game Boy title.
Kevin, do you know?
There's very few Kirby games
I don't know
that
Kirby.
are on console.
It was a Super Nintendo game, and I'm pretty sure it was called Kirby's All-Stars. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. But that Kirby game had like 3 different sports games on it too. It was like one was like a sledgehammer game, some other things, but
Very sporty.
but same thing with Nick, because we'd go rent games, whether regular Nintendo or Sega Genesis, at a video store attached to a pizza place, and it was right there on like Meridian and 160th. I don't know, I can't remember much about it, but I can't remember the name of it. Whatever that gas station is there now, that's where you go rent a bunch of games. But
You were renting games from a gas station?
yeah, it was dark
time.
video store. Yeah, this video store attached to a pizza joint.
Did like one man like have a coat full of like cartridges and you just like open it and you just choose?
Yeah, we would walk in there, and it was this dude, and somehow we never had to return the game. I don't know. It was weird.
Huh, somehow.
No, I'm joking. It was shelved. It was like a real rental place. But, most of my the games that I played a lot at other people's houses have a bunch of stories attached to them. If you haven't already told that by being over at Tim's house or going over to there was a next door neighbor house that my dad used to live at, and we'd go play a shit ton of Mario Kart.
Oh, that's another good one.
And I suck at Mario Kart. I'm so terrible, so terrible at it. Kevin, what? Because we do have a little age different. What age were you playing these games here? Like, did you get in depth on the Super Nintendo?
Okay, so you're saying this is the 25th anniversary.
Yes.
So me and the fucking Super Nintendo are the same age.
There you go.
Okay, so it was already getting up there in the years by the time I had the dexterity to start playing it. I think I was 5? Probably 5 when I started getting into it. But we had the Super Nintendo for a while before my mom decided to murder the goddamn thing as she was cleaning. I think she pulverized it too, and those things are tough as hell. I don't know how she did it.
What was it, like a Christmas Story breaking the leg lamp? Like, did she break it on purpose?
It was. I don't know. I don't know my mother's motives back then. I hope not. But I just remember coming home one day and going, "Hey, where's the Super Nintendo?" And she just looked at me with no feeling, no no empathy, and just said I threw it in the trash.
Yep,
And-
it was on purpose, man. It all comes out now. Now that you look back.
Yeah. It got really
You
real.
should
And
have
then,
been like, joke's on you, bitch. You paid for it.
all the games were there, but it wasn't even mine. It was my my older brother's. But like by the time I got into it, he was kind of out of games, so I had his old collection to go through. So I remember, of course, Donkey Kong Country, specifically Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. There's a pun in there. Huh?
Yes.
I like it too. I don't know. The style of that game was so fucking good. I love that game. And I think I just like Diddy as a. I can't relate to Donkey. I don't know. Like, what am I supposed to? He's kind of like a reformed bad guy.
But I love getting diddled.
I love Diddy and
Diddy
and
the
Dixie.
diddler.
And what else was I playing on there? Mortal Kombat. I shouldn't have been playing it, but I was.
Mortal
Well-
Kombat
And-
Ultimate 3 was the best iteration of Mortal Kombat.
Well,
Yes.
first thing, Mortal Kombat on Super Nintendo was edited or.
Part 1 was. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Part 1 was. Part 1, it was they would shoot sweat out of their faces. Like
Or-
they had
or
like a
tears.
gland problem. Or tears.
They're
tears
just kissing out of every pore of their body.
which deserves an M rating anyway. Yeah, played a lot of Mortal Kombat, played some Killer Instinct as well. We had a lot of fighting games. I guess my brother was pretty aggressive, which
Well,
it's
I
all
think-
coming together now.
I think not even that aggressive. Like I think just back then they were really popular. Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, Clay Fighter.
Yeah.
Well, it was
Primal
popular
Rage.
because we hadn't yet
Primal
been
Rage?
desensitized.
It's true. And then another popular genre that came around then was that every license that a studio can get a hold of, they would turn it into a beat 'em up. Like just anything would be a beat 'em up. And I had Final Fight I think came out on there, but I had a Power Ranger game that was a pretty solid beat 'em up.
Sick.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. What else was? God, I played a lot of beat 'em ups.
Was the good Spider-Man title? Was that on Super Nintendo?
That was
Yes.
Maximum Carnage.
I had that
Yes.
a red fucking cartridge too. Oh, I loved it. God, I missed that cartridge.
And,
and
and I know we left one out, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Which
Zelda?
because what is this Zelda you're talking about?
You know Zelda, it's that chick with the hat and the sword.
The pointy hat.
Yeah, in the green, and she has a fairy pet.
Yeah.
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 So here's the story: is since I never owned a Super Nintendo, I have not played the Super Nintendo Zelda because I just never had the time. Like I never had it. I don't even think I own it now that I think about it. Probably
Okay,
'cause
so what you need to do, since you don't have a Super Nintendo and you'll probably never get that experience.
no, I
unless
do
you
have a
get
Super
an
Nintendo. I
emulator.
told you I bought one in high school.
Well, you're probably not going to find a cheap and also working version of The Legend of Zelda.
Of Legend of Zelda, yeah.
You need to get a Nintendo DS and just play The Legend of Zelda: Link Between Two Worlds, which is the direct sequel to that game and still captures the feel of that game, and it's amazing.
But then
Yeah,
I'd have to
it
buy
is.
the.
There's no prior
okay?
knowledge required. You can still play it.
I don't own a lot of handhelds. If I was to own a handheld, I would get the PS Vita. But I haven't
Which
even
has
done that either.
which has no games.
Yeah, but it's a
PS
PlayStation, and he is a PlayStation fanboy.
Yeah, I already bought a bunch of the indie titles on the PS4. If I bought a PS Vita, I would have a bunch of games to throw on it, but I don't have PS Vita, so I may own one in the future. But I'm just not a big fan of
2DS,
Nintendo.
That way you can just give it to your kid when you get bored with it and take it back every time a good game comes out.
I did. I gave my DS to Anna, which had a few games on it, but I gave it to her because I had Lawrence. Do the thing where he gets you the card and you put it all on there. So I had a shit
I
ton
had
of
him
games.
do that illegal thing that I'm now publicly admitting to.
Yep. And I got rid of it, and then I gave Anna the DS because I quit adding games to it. So come get me, FBI. Come get me.
Dum dum dum. And then he's shot.
Yes.
Right.
My screen black. Just fade to black. Let's see here. I have a few games, but all of my games, because I didn't own the system, have stories attached to it. So like,
Because they're all stolen.
Yeah, they're none of them. I've had no real childhood. These are all stories from movies. Uh, was so I have a lot of stories about going over to Tim's house, and I think Roger Rabbit was on 8-bit Nintendo, so that was the Super Nintendo. A game that I played a ton of is F-Zero.
That's a good game.
And I love F-Zero. The thing about like I talked about on Batman, the Batman that you hate on Nintendo, the color scheme's great, the music's great,
All
the
three
racing's
colors.
fun. So I like F-Zero. Earthworm Jim, I played at Ryan's house, and it was on Sega Genesis. I didn't play Earthworm Jim on Super Nintendo,
Well,
but
there was the same game, cross-platform, so.
yeah, to this day, I do own Earthworm Jim on both the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo. I own on both of them because that's necessary.
The sound is better on Genesis, friend.
It was, and there's a story behind that. And Kevin, I bet you do know the
Unless you
story
have a
why the
32X,
sound is better on the Genesis.
You don't know shit.
I don't. I've never heard of Earthworm Jim.
You've never. You
No, I'm
do know
kidding.
why the sound's
What's the
better on
story? What's the
He's
story?
only 25. He doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
You
What's
don't know
the story?
why the story on the Sega Genesis is
Fucking
better?
casual.
It has a better sound card or sound chip or sound whatever the hell whatever spiders that they poured into the machine to make it work.
Yeah, and
Whatever.
so there's a long story attached to it, but the Sega Genesis had better sound because it did have an extra chip that the Super Nintendo did not have, and
Yeah.
so they could put in more tones to these songs. Can you see my hands? I put more tones in the songs, and that's
As
why.
it cuts the
Sound.
balls.
And I think that's why. But some people don't like the Sega Genesis sound because they wanted to add all the different tones and everything to it. But it does have superior.
Speaking of tones, and we're talking 16-bit, Mario Paint.
Oh shit! You brought up
That's-
some vivid memories.
When they actually, like, the first time they ever to my knowledge, put a mouse and a mouse pad on a console.
Yeah.
That was
Which-
a good time.
I do own Mario Paint. I don't own a Mario Paint mouse pad, but I do own the mouse. So I guess I should be on the lookout for a mouse pad.
eBay.
The Mario,
Because you
Mario.
can't just use any mouse pad, clearly.
No, I do. I do use, but I'm saying I should be on the lookout to own the original Mario mouse pad. And that, hey, once again, over at Buddy Tim's house, we would at parties would go and draw
Dicks.
very, very terrible naked ladies on the Mario Paint with the mouse.
Okay.
Be like,
Okay.
that's Bush, hair pie right there.
Is that what you called it?
That's what
Surprised you ever got laid.
that's what Revenge of the Nerds calls it. They go,
Really want some hair pie.
move away, mama, show me some of that muff. So.
Oh.
You both have seen Revenge of the Nerds, right?
Yeah, of
no.
course. What?
Nick, you've never seen Revenge of the Nerds?
Not in its entirety and not uncensored.
Oh my God, you need to watch it. You need to watch it uncensored because the whole panty raid sequence is fantastic, and the whole thing you're talking about hair pie and stuff like that. So it's fantastic.
It's got a really tasteful rape sequence as well, if
Yeah.
you recall.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's one of those things that was probably way funnier in the 80s, like Eddie Murphy, than it is
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Well, that's
I
what.
can't.
So I
Try
watched-
watching his comedy special from the 80s. It's fucking cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I just recently watched Revenge of the Nerds with wife because I probably watch Revenge of the Nerds once a week, probably. Because it's one of my favorite shows, one of my favorite movies. And wife's we're watching the panty raid scene, and she's like, "Could you imagine this happening in a college now? Like, deans losing their jobs, guys getting
Tumblr
arrested.
posts, Twitter posts,
Oh, like
Right.
sex offenders everywhere.
people now, man, so high sensitive.
Stop
So,
oppressing me! Check your panty raid privilege.
if you can't, it's like, and if I can't panty raid at a college without getting in trouble, I don't want to go to that college. You don't deserve my money.
Yeah, if I can't drug somebody and pretend to be your boyfriend, then I don't want to do it at all.
He didn't drug her. She came out. She was like, "Hey, do you want to have sex on the moon?" And he just put on a mask. And
He put on a Darth Vader mask, by the way.
well, it was a
Wasn't
Wanda
it?
mask.
I thought it was a straight up.
No,
Vader
it was
mask.
very bad. It was not a. It was like a makeshift weird mask. Not a Darth Vader though. Not Darth Vader.
Is it
Oh.
like basically the same thing used in Back to the Future?
No, like
You're the
we're
one
talking
that's
like
seen the movie, so
fake mask. Fake mask.
how was the rape scene? Scale of 1 to 10.
The rape scene in what? Back to the Future?
No.
In Revenge of the Nerds?
That was attempted rape.
No. There is
Get your
no.
paws off her. Biff.
There's no sex. There's no sex actually seen on the moon. It's just them laying down, and then she's like, obviously he just got done from going down on her. Comes up, it's the nerd. And she's like, and he's like, how are you so good? And he's like, you know what, jocks just think about sports. All we think about is sex. And she's like.
Clearly, that's what makes him good at it, and not the fact that he's been face fucking some fruit or something around the house.
Well, hey, whatever you got to practice on, whatever you're thinking about, it makes you one with the ladies. Because obviously, she
Then
fell
how
in love
come you're
with him
so bad at
afterwards.
Smite?
What?
How come you're so bad at Smite?
Because I don't practice face fucking in Smite. What is that? That doesn't make any sense.
He said if you think about it all the time, then you can be better at it.
No, I said you said he was practicing, not just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Well, this went a whole other direction.
It was a personal attack.
Yeah.
He's been building it up.
he's been waiting. He always
let it go.
always trashes me down about my terrible Smite playing, but I bring it up to him too. I bring it up in like, dude, I need help because I'm just getting.
I do provide constructive criticism
Yes.
and coaching.
Because yes.
Was there a Revenge of the Nerds video game? Is there like a face fucking sequence in that game? Is there is there an actual one?
I wish there's Revenge of the Nerds game. I don't think there is.
Dude, if it was a
it would
movie
be a
in the
beat 'em up.
80s, I'm sure it became a video game.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Hey, I'll look it up. Let's
Okay.
look this thing up. Well,
All right.
somebody fill this void while I look up Revenge of the Nerds video game.
Somebody's void's gonna get filled.
All right, so I
wanna know
googled
We all
too.
stop talking.
Yeah, you can't tell us what to do.
Nerds video game.
Okay.
I mean, they made the
And-
fucking Goonies game. It wasn't even about the Goonies. It was about, like, mice
Well,
and platforming.
And honestly, it wasn't even Goonies. It was Goonies 2.
Yeah, but
So-
it had a shitty version of the Cyndi Lauper song on loop during the entire game.
Don't you ever call that Cyndi Lauper song shitty. Don't you ever do that.
It's a shitty version of
It's
the
not
song.
okay.
And the Bob's Burgers version was way better because Cyndi Lauper actually re-recorded the song.
But to answer the previous question, no,
Okay.
there is no Revenge of the Nerds game.
Although Nick brought
Which
up
is
something
surprising.
interesting, which is weird licensed video game sequels before the movies ever got sequels. Like that was the thing video games did for some reason. Like,
Well-
do you remember on Super Nintendo Jurassic Park 2? The
Ugh.
chaos continues.
Yeah.
What the fuck? How are you going to supersede Spielberg like that?
Well-
What gives you the right?
To be fair, the only reason that the second one was made is because Spielberg was all over Michael Crichton's dick about getting it made.
Oh
And
yeah, I
then
heard about
it
that.
didn't do exactly well compared to the first. And I don't think any of them have except Jurassic World.
Right.
And
Which rips
Jurassic
off the first
World-
movie.
yeah, Jurassic World would not be anywhere that it is had it not been for Jurassic Park. So
Yeah, and I don't
Right.
think it rips off the first movie as much as it is just a direct sequel, and we can pretend that 2 and 3 didn't exist.
Oh yeah, no references or anything.
what one is 2?
What?
Which one is 2?
Lost
The
World 2.
Lost World.
And which one's 3?
That's the one
Just 3.
where they go back to the island, and it's about the Spinosaur.
Sam Neill
Okay.
comes back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I know.
Out
See,
of
I
shape,
thought-
Sam Neill.
Is the one in San Diego with the T-Rex.
Yes. Which is all anybody remembers about that movie, actually. Every time they reference
well,
that film.
it's like 2 different movies. It's because you have an hour. The first half of the movie is on the island, and it's not even really the first half. You have Act 1 is them throwing the band back together. Act 2 is them on the island.
Yeah.
Act 3 is them in L.A.
hmm
And
It does take a trip.
They feel like totally different movies, like
Yeah,
just
it-
between acts.
Which actually, if you look at it beat for beat, it just rips off King Kong at that point.
Well, yeah,
Damn.
Well, and that's the other thing is like I was.
but I mean the first one's technically a ripoff of King Kong because you got somebody trying to, display something that they have no control over.
Well,
It's Frankenstein and King Kong.
he didn't. They didn't bring it back to anywhere though, so it can't be like King Kong that much. But
Well, they let him go on the island basically.
it's funny that you mentioned 2 because like Kevin said, I completely forgot about 2. Like I completely forgot that a dinosaur goes back to L.A. I completely forgot.
Most people forgot about 2. Oh, and please tell me how a crippled baby T-Rex somehow managed to stealthily kill everyone on the boat so that the boat could crash into the harbor.
Oh, okay. I have the answer to that, by the way. And it is they fucking cut a bunch of scenes. Or didn't film the scenes which were actually in the script. Apparently they took back T-Rex and raptors. And the raptors got loose, killed everybody in the places where it didn't make sense for a T-Rex to kill somebody stealthily. And then just kind of moseyed on.
Jumped off.
Just jumped off, hung out, got jobs at like Ron John Surf Shop. They did their own thing. It was
and
T-Rex.
That's why that movie didn't do well, because they put in bullshit that they didn't follow up on.
Yep.
And
But dinosaurs. That was the point.
Which brings me to another topic I want to talk about, because I just recently saw X-Men Days of Future Crap.
I like that movie, man.
I like it too.
I got questions.
Yeah.
How does jamming a bunch of shredded steel beams into a robot allow you to control it on a technical level? Number one. Number two, we don't have any reasonable way outside of sci-fi to put any sort of organic DNA into a computer and have it function. How was he able to come up with the idea for mutant sentinels in the 70s?
It was all an idea.
The level of technology was never there.
It wasn't there until he got the blood.
The level of technology wasn't even there in the 70s to build the shitty sentinels, because a computer in the 70s would have taken up half of a football field.
Hey, he was thinking of the
There's
future.
no such thing as AI.
He's thinking of the future. But that's the one that's always bothered me. That's the one thing that's always bothered me in every X-Men movie is the stuff that what's her face always gets. I'm spacing on her name.
And then answer me this: how did going back in the time and stopping a chick that killed a dude and caused a whole bunch of problems, how did that negate all of X-Men, whatever, the Phoenix one? X-Men 3.
No, because they were talking about that attack or her killing him is what spurs the hate towards mutants.
Yeah. But
if there's no hate towards mutants, there's no registration.
But she still would have became the Phoenix at some point. So
only if she's pushed. Only if she's pushed that. And since there's no registration and there's no Wolverine, doing his thing, there is no, she'd have to save the
movie is garbage.
Shit.
Like,
I love it.
It was cool on an acting level. It was cool on a special effects level. But the story was bullshit.
I'm trying to think of her fucking name right now. Like, I know every X-Men, like...
Mystique?
Mystique, thank you. So, the thing that always bothered me about Mystique is when she was able to, like in the first movie, or the second one, she could duplicate a person and duplicate either their fingerprints or their pupils. How does she, just by looking at you, know your retinal scan and your fingerprints?
I believe you're supposed to have to come in contact with whoever she's copying.
Yes, I don't know. It's like, but
barring fantastical mutant powers and shape-shifting and stuff, there's no way that she would ever, even with that power, be able to copy someone's eyes. I could understand
that's what I'm saying.
Stuff you touch, like fingerprints and stuff, but still, that would require so much brain power to be able to, put that there.
Yeah, fingerprints.
We need to go back to the pinnacle point, which is nothing about X-Men makes any goddamn sense whatsoever, because what they're saying is that they're the next step in evolution, and yet how does it serve us on an evolutionary scale to uncontrollably shoot lasers out of our fucking eyes and incinerate everything we know and love from birth?
The evolution part there is the basic principle of
adaptation,
which is survival of the fittest. So
Yeah.
if you have enough people with laser vision successfully passing on their genes, then laser vision will serve a purpose. But if you take all the X-Men and all their powers and you line them up in what would actually be useful for human survival, and not even useful, just the ones that would be able to breathe the most, it would be the shapeshifters, because they can become whatever is desirable, thus allowing them to pass on their genes more.
Also, like around Wolverine, which he did.
Now, laser dicks would never get passed on.
Well, it's like Wolverine passes on to his daughter, which is X-23, not his adamantium skeleton, but his health regeneration. So that one would be survival of the fittest.
She's a clone, my friend. There's nothing natural about X-23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
She ain't a daughter.
She's Wolverine's daughter.
Adopted.
No.
Basically adopted because she's a clone.
Yeah, she's a clone. Straight up clone.
Well.
Yeah.
Still. He's taken her in as a daughter. That's what
I think she fills in that empty Jubilee spot, but
nobody.
Who's now a vampire.
I love Dazzler, and I do not like Jubilee. Jubilee's garbage, but I like Dazzler.
It's like the same thing.
Not the same thing. Jubilee just has like weak fireworks, an annoying outfit. She's an annoying person. Dazzler, who is Alison Blair, is one of the brave mutants to actually say that she's a mutant and provide an identity and still be a famous person. Walks around.
So she's basically a mutant version of Gem.
And the problems where are you talking about? Exactly. No problems. Well, gentlemen.
How do we get on X-Men? What happened to Fallout?
I think we were talking about movies. I didn't get to talk about Fallout 4, did I?
No.
It's garbage. Don't buy it.
Don't buy it.
I do like Fallout 4. I do like it. Kevin, you were talking about, hey, if you can, there's no level cap. You can eventually pick every single perk, but that would be so much work.
The only perk you need is Bloody Mess. As long as that's there, you'll have a good time.
Plus 5% to damage for Bloody Mess. I've made 3 different characters. I didn't like one of them. I made my Han Solo character, which was all luck and charisma. But the charisma really doesn't pay out as much as you think it would.
Ironically, died in the bathroom.
Unless you really like to make your townships, because having high charisma really helps your townships. That's about it. And getting like certain chat options when you talk to people. The character that I'm having the most fun with is high luck, high agility, and high perception. So I sneak everywhere. I pickpocket people. I break into stuff. You get 3 to 4 times extra damage. I did a thing in agility where it increases the melee distance in VATS, because I like using VATS. I know that's something you don't like using, Kevin, but I love the VATS system, partially because I'm terrible at aiming. So I use the VATS system to not miss, but when you add the melee, you get 4 times the damage with melee weapons in sneak. You add that increased VATS distance from melee, and you walk into, you can see a dude across the room. He can't see you. Bats him. He's dead. Bloody mess. Bats his head off. My character has a like a bard stash, so it curls up, and it's like a little goatee comes down. Can you see it?
So he looks like a clown.
I look fantastic. I have sunglasses and a baseball cap with my baseball.
I've got oversized sunglasses, a polka dot hat, and a mustache.
I'm
a Dapper Dan.
My Han Solo character is even better because I wanted to increase my luck even more. The hat that increases your luck is a chef hat. So you have a guy coming around in armor and a chef hat with high charisma, so he's able to talk everybody into something, which you wouldn't think you would be because he's some crazy dude in the chef hat. Here's wife. Can you see her?
Hey, wife.
Yep. I was gonna warn her to not walk around naked while this is going on, but.
That's actually would have been.
And so far, you just get lost in the game. I've only done a few quests, but as you wander from one point to the next, just like Skyrim, you see a little point and you're like, oh, let's go check it out. Oh, let's go check out. You wander on over there, and you end up spending an hour inside the building, whatever building you went to look at, and then your hour is gone.
Then you forget to save, and then you get butt fucked by a Death Reaper or whatever the giant monsters are when you walk outside.
Auto-save often, because I've done that. I'll walk and I'll wander for 25 minutes, and then suddenly, oh, dude, the landmines are rampant. You just be walking and you're dead, like just gone. And 25 minutes of just wandering, lost.
People in Vietnam have to deal with that every day, Burke. How dare you? Check your privilege.
But I think a lot of people put it as like the best game ever. Like that was from BuzzFeed or some bullshit. I wouldn't say it's the best game ever.
But I'm interested in playing it. I've always liked Fallout games.
Yeah, and I know. Do you like the Skyrim because of the lore more, like Elder Scrolls, or you like the game?
I'd say I like both systems equally. I like that Elder Scroll games are usually open-ended, so you don't have to end and go New Game Plus when you beat the game. I just like the past when it comes to games. I don't know. As far as like role-playing experience or just that setting, like I guess you could say like fictional 13th century, whatever. Mm-hmm. Just the medieval setting, I like all that. I like Skyrim a lot because it was like, oh, cool, fucking Vikings and dragons, the most metal game ever.
I hadn't played any Elder Scrolls before Skyrim, and I absolutely...
You missed out.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is I absolutely loved Skyrim. So you should have
played them in order because you will not like the other ones now.
Yeah, exactly. And I won't because I don't want to ruin it. But Fallout 3, I absolutely loved. Well, I like Fallout 4 more than Fallout 3. It's going to take some time. Only time will tell. Right now, I am enjoying it though.
Do you think it plays better, at the very least,
than Fallout 3?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very similar. Like, there's really not that much improvement, but like we talked about before, the gunplay, like the actual combat, is a lot better. VATS is more intuitive because it's actually it just slows down time, so you don't stop time. The feral ghouls and everything, they're really hard to hit, and they're really fast. So using the VATS system, I've tried to just aim at their legs, and I literally hit all their legs, so they're sitting there crawling towards me to slow them down. So that combat, part's cool. Enemies
that's
have
what
different...
Bloody Mary is for. You aim for whatever part you can hit, like the highest percentage, and just let the bullets fly, and they explode before that. You shoot them in the foot and they explode. Shoot them in the hand. They've suddenly pasted their grandmother with guts.
But the part with that is you have to watch some of the enemies because a lot of the enemies have metal chest plates and stuff. So yeah, the chest has the highest percentage of hit, like 67%. But you'll just see it ping off their chest. You have to aim another part that doesn't have the metal armor, and that comes up to that is a perk that's under the endurance, I believe, and that's the one where you can see what their weakest part is on their body in VATS. So that's cool perks to pick. You can eventually get all the perks, but it's very difficult to. I mean, it would take a lot of time. You'd have to be way high level to get all the perks.
I'm sure eventually you could just cheat and do it.
Oh, there's already cheats. Talking to Greg's, I don't know, his dog breaks into safes. My dog doesn't do shit except get. He's like, hey dog, fetch this, and the dog magically puts his nose through the safe, pulls out the gun or whatever's in there, and he grabs it from him. My dog doesn't do shit. There's also he's found a way that his dog now dupes weapons. So if he gets a big fat man, he can dupe that, and now has he's also done the exploit to get a shit ton of caps. But I play the game without exploits, so I tried to keep it pure.
I'll probably play my first playthrough without it, but then as soon as I beat the main quest, then I'll start cheating. Because I just like murdering people. That's the whole reason I play Fallout games, is because I'm a sociopath and it lets me get all that stuff out.
Yeah, then you would probably want to go high agility, high strength, and get the big weapons.
Actually, the way that I play those games is I like I guess whatever makes me better at aiming, and whatever makes me really good at rifles.
So yeah, that would be endurance and agility, because the agility is what allows you to have more action points, and endurance is the one that lets you go down not only rifleman, but it also goes down the sniper tree, and it also, so when you snipe, it smooths out the way you look through scopes, makes it not so jerky.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Because
so,
I always play those games like some sort of sniper. Like when I play Skyrim, I get a bow and I start shooting people in the back. I steal stuff. I don't ever have melee combat because by the time you've seen me, you've already bled out and you've died.
well, and that's why I'm playing. That's the way I'm playing. That's why I play Skyrim and I play Fallout now. Is all sneaking all the time. In order to get all the sneak, that's under agility. All the stealth stuff, pickpocketing and everything, that's under endurance. So you probably want to go endurance, stuff like that. Kevin, I know you talked about. Are you planning on getting Fallout? Did I talk you into it at all?
I have it.
What? Oh, that's right, you do.
I do have it. I just got it with like 3 other games. So I've been like bouncing back and forth. But no, I started playing it. I like that you can actually serviceably play in third person, and the game doesn't like destroy itself like it used to. Because you can play like a third-person shooter, and it's fine. In fact, I prefer to because the reticle is like so much more accurate. I feel, I feel like there's less sway when you're aiming down weapons. It's still Fallout 3. I'll give it that. It's a little smoother, but it's still Fallout 3. So I wish there was I don't know. It's just it's overwhelming. Because there's like a lot of items, and especially since they added the whole crafting element to it, now you're just like scouring environments for hours, and then you realize like I spent like 2 hours just kind of searching homes, like empty houses and
I spent
and
2 hours
broken
doing
cribs.
work.
Yeah, I worked for this game.
It's not a game.
Well, that's the reason that I didn't like. Don't get me wrong, I love Metal Gear Solid 5, but that's the other point of Metal Gear Solid 5 that I didn't like was. When I go into a mission, now I have to find fucking resources. Just
Yeah.
my stealth mission. Not when I'm going to choke some dude out, be like, oh look, there's fire resource, and leave my path and go over and grab that and then go strangle the guy. I just want to go strangle the guy.
It makes the experience schizophrenic for Metal Gear, especially for that reason. But I mean, Fallout's always been very open-ended, and yeah, you can walk on a landmine or you can collect tea kettles the entire duration of the game, but
Or stack teddy bears, because apparently there's a lot of bears in that game.
Yeah, for some reason.
And I think you get the teddy bears to launch out of the junk launcher that you get after the first the first Brotherhood of Steel quest. I think you go down to ArcJet Systems. But, well, gentlemen, I think we've been talking for far too long. The podcast has gone on long enough.
It must end.
It must
If
end.
you could figure out how to do this like sometime earlier in the day, and then we could have talk for hours on end, that'd be fine.
Yeah, well, I think it's just because I have to put Lex to bed. I have to help, assist the wife. But this time we'll actually get started a little earlier because it won't take me 45 minutes to set it up. Now I actually know how to get everything started and we can get it done.
Nice.
And hopefully Kevin can get it working on his Chromebook, and then we'll be even more better, right?
Is this a disruptive experience for you, me being on my phone?
No, absolutely not. It is not.
Because I couldn't get it working on my Chromebook at all.
I was thinking just more of like an audio standpoint, It sounds okay. It sounds good. But you can tell some echoing spots on Nick and stuff like that, so.
Okay.
Whatever.
But I think it was a very productive Nerd Farmcast episode 44. And if I can actually get the audio and the video off of YouTube, it'll make the experience even better. Hopefully it all works out. It's, how we work.
If you want to download a YouTube video, there's a way to do it. And then if you can't extract the audio from the video specifically, you just type SS after the URL on the YouTube video, and you'll download the video itself, and you can use that and edit it on your computer.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good to know. Then what I'll do, Nick, is I'll probably look over it tomorrow, and I will give you a heads up. Everyone, thank you so much for the one viewer that we did. See, I was the only. There was actually a real person viewing. It is now 0. The counter's 0.
They're like, fuck this clown circus.
And it wasn't me. They watched for a long time. Like, I just now noticed that person is. Thank you to one person who's no longer watching, and I'm thanking.
All gone.
So, everyone, this was Nerd Farmcast episode 44. Hopefully, we get all this posted up. I'm Burke.
I'm
Come on,
Kevin.
Kevin, it's on you.
It's on me. I'm Kevin.
Aha! There we go.
And I'm Nick.
Oh, man. I am the best fucking comp troller there is. Everyone, be nice.